Here's the WinMax 1 kilowatt wind turbine. Looking at it from outside of the shed where the charge controller and the batteries are, and so you can see we have very light wind. So you can see by the trees, very little movement at all. Just a little bit. There's probably good, I don't know, 5-mile-an-hour wind somewhere in that neighborhood. Not very strong at all, but she's under load, as you can see. She's turning, quite well. So there's no issue whatsoever with the generator turning in very light winds. I'll go inside the shed and show you that she's actually still hooked up to a load on the batteries. Here's the setup right now. We'll turn on the voltage meter, and as you can see, it's steady at 3.35, 3.34. There's maybe 5 amps, about 5 amps or so being charged right now. So she's pretty charged up at this point. The batteries, of course, are down here. You can see the Coleman Air charge controller giving us a signal that it's pretty well charged up. So everything's connected, everything's online. As you can see, there's a little fluctuation on the meter. That's because obviously as the wind fluctuates, and so does the voltage going to the batteries. So this is all good news, and I'll show you how I set it up from a tower perspective. Here's one of the anchor points for the tower. The other anchor point is on that end, and then the third anchor point, I only used 3. It's on the other side of the shed. I followed the recommendations from different websites as well as WinMax website, and we used a 2-inch galvanized pipe, bought it at Lowe's, and mounted the generator right on it. As you get it from WinMax, the collar from the wind generator is made to fit specifically on a 2-inch pipe, so it was an extremely easy way to set it up. Right now it's only 40 feet up in the air, and the trees all around me are a good 20 to 30 feet, some of them, so I don't have a whole lot of height. The second one that goes up is going to actually go into a fork on the top here. We're going to add another 10-foot section, so that'll raise it to 50 feet, and then we're going to tee off the top and add 2 10-foot sections at each end with each generator on it. So we will raise this tower a total of 20 feet, have the exactly same kind of wires on it. Everything's going to stay the same, and she's going to be 60 feet high. So you can see what we did for a base for the tower. We used standard 2-inch galvanized pipe fittings. We cut one piece of pipe in half, buried it into the ground, concreted it in. Everything's grounded properly. So it's a very easy way to set it up, and it provides an excellent pivot point and stability for raising and lowering the tower. How we did that was by taking an extra cable that you can probably see on the back here, and we attached it to 3 different points. When we add the next pole to it, the next next additional 10 feet, we're going to add another point to that. It's going to be 4 points for lifting. But the cable that you see on the left there in the middle is the racing cable, and the way that it's set up, it moves freely. So as the tower raises, the angle and the length of the cable that goes through the attachment point actually changes dynamically, so as to provide the proper leverage and angle for that. And I will show you the other end of that tower and how we set it up. So there's the anchor point that I was telling you about. There's some extra additional pipe that we're going to use for the second generator that's going to go on the main tower that we're looking at. And then we just use that piece of cable that hangs on the side of the building there and we hooked it up essentially to the hitch on a four-wheel drive avalanche that we have, and that's how we raise and lower the tower. So it's very, very easy to do. One person can actually do it without a problem. I use my son to help me, and he's great at that. But in reality, you can do it by yourself. As you can see, it's turning very nicely, and there's hardly any wind at all. But she does quite a good job. This is the reason why I decided not to use a 24-volt charging system, because at 24 volts right now I couldn't get a charge. It's turning too slow for the amount of wind in my area. So for this kind of wind in the afternoons, I still get a little bit of charge by taking it down to 12 volts. As you can see, she's doing quite well. She's charging. Once we raise it another 20 feet, the wind power is actually going to increase, because I'm going to catch better airflow that right now I'm missing because of the height of the trees all around me. So anyways, that's it. I will update this video when I have the second WindMax 1 kilowatt turbine. So that'll give me 2 kilowatts of wind power at rated wind speed, and I think we'll be good to go for a while. Take care.